It's laying the foundations of how you can build your wealth responsibly. I met a young man. He was trying to encourage me to join a program where they sell NFTs, cryptocurrencies, and bitcoins, and how it's getting wild in the market and making money and all of that. And he talked for almost like 20 minutes. I was just listening and enjoyed the discussion and the gains he was making, and how he's enjoying that thing. Then after a while, I asked him, have you yourself, I know you have some savings because you're able to pluck money here and there, last minute money to pay for this. When they call you, you take opportunities. But do you have a life insurance? And he looked at me like, what's that got to do with making money and everything? Of course, a young man, just above his studies, just in his studies. And he couldn't see, all he was looking to is the future, which we all look to, which is the focus of everyone, each and every one of us. And that future is what we have been talking about. It's changing. The picture of the future is changing. And I could see the thinking in this young man, he's beginning to grasp the concept that, you cannot depend on Social Security anymore. You cannot depend on funds that your employer could have been helping you to save. You cannot depend on retirement. You must take charge of your own financial future. And like we've been saying here, develop habits that help you build for that future. We are going to get old. That's like now, and assume people are not dying in the 40s and 30s anymore. People are scaling hundreds. Definitely, it's not news that somebody is 90 today in 2022. It's not news that somebody is 85 in 2022. But then you retire at 70. It's 15 years of getting lost if you don't know what to do between 70 and 85. And that's what our discussion is about here. What do you do in those 40 years that you have the energy? From, let's say, you start working at age 25, 65, you are ready to retire. What do you do, in those years to prepare for that time when you are 85 and above, and you need somebody to help you use the restroom, you need somebody to clean up for you. Even if you are detaining your wife or your child at home, somebody needs to pay for that time. Not to talk of if you have to move to a home or to get to a house. And that's where we say, you got to care for yourself right now in a responsible way. That said, that's basic, taking care of yourself. But can you do it like the wealthy? Can you make money to enjoy even that time? You want to travel, you want to take your grandkids on a cruise every 3 months or every 6 months. These are reasons people make money. You want to, belong to certain clubs where you are still able to play golf, you're still able to take care of yourself. So all of these are possible, and that's what we are talking about. You need to make money. There is no, quick way. We don't preach any quick, get around or something, to make money. You need to work and build the money. You need to save a new habit. Yes, you will invest, but you must start from that work that you are doing. How are you protecting the fruits of your hard work? You may have seen one of the earlier versions where I talked about the $13 trick. What saving $13 a day can actually mean to a change of your life, a change of your lifestyle. I met somebody yesterday after 18 years working in the same company. They didn't even retire her to have any benefit. If she didn't have anything in her 401k and she wasn't preparing for retirement, that was it. 18 years wasted because she was terminated for coming late. She was terminated. So they've been waiting for her at one junction and she was terminated for coming late. Now, even if you want to take that to court, it's going to cost you money, right? They may pay it back later, but you have to start it with something. So we know that, all these financial concepts are not really easy or exciting, but you can learn. They are very easy. Like we're starting today, they are just 4 steps that you need to know. Those basics, the fundamentals. Once you understand, you can begin to explore the jungle. And we'll show you, I'm going to go through the jungle in a little while today. So, that how to help you learn to build response. So, like I'm saying, it is a priority. You need to take charge of your own future. It's work, but you need to take charge of your own future. So, and those are the podals. I showed you the podals of social security. But even these are podals. These are steps that you must take. But move and ahead on the ladder. As you step ahead on the ladder, you are stronger. Your wealth, your efforts, your energy are saved. Everything you've put together, they are saved. So the complex regulations and rules that govern all these procedures or things that we're going to discuss, they don't force you. They don't give you too much of a headache to handle, because you already know where each and every one falls into. And those are the things we'll be discussing in this series. So we will start, one, you need to understand that you got to change. You have the understanding that you have to proactively take action, do something to get yourself financially free and stop depending on things like social security or retirement funds and things like that. Yes, those are things that you will exploit. The basic is the basic. You need to understand the steps. It's like what we'll be starting off today. It's like you want to build a house. You need a solid financial foundation you need a solid foundation to build that house. So the same thing, you want to build your finance, you want to build your wealth. You need to put it on a solid foundation. So that foundation starts with your protection. You have to have a solid, foundation to put your protection in place. Then reduce your debt liabilities. And we'll go into how do you do that. You get out of debt. That's basically what I'm talking about. We'll look into that. You need some emergency funding in place. Like the guy I was talking about, he was able to, he started with his $500 that he had in his savings account. One day they called him, he had some $1,000 and he put in there. By the end of 3 months, he was, having like $40,000 gain. And he thought, oh, this is wonderful, this is great. But that is like gambling. When you go to investment stage, it's not about gambling. It is about, organized investment designed to provide for your wealth, designed to provide for your future. And that's the way we want to go about it. You need to have a strong basic, a strong standing, protected base to move on. And like I've been hinting, it's a jungle out there. And how do you go through this jungle? It's pretty important for you to understand that all of these potentials that are put on the screen are possible ways, not just to protect your money, but to grow your wealth. But you have to do them step by step, ladder by ladder. Not everyone applies to everybody all the time. It depends on your age, it depends on your aggressiveness, it depends on your ambition. But you start from the bottom, protection, all up to debt management, to savings for emergencies, and then to start playing with the money to get you. And when I say playing, I don't mean gambling. It is organized thinking, okay? And we will go through all of that as we go through this sequence. So, but my aim really is to help you build your money, in a methodical version. So I said protection. We start with protection. You can see most of these ones are usually, they have tax advantage, opportunities for you. So that's when we talk about protection. So you're earning the money, you're finding a tax advantage situation to put your money into, to help you. So that in case anything happens, accidents, anything, you have a will in place. Okay, your interests are protected by trust. You have some young people you are helping and protecting, or some young ideas, or some sick people. Your homes, your estates, your investments, they are protected. All these things are also able to provide for you in long term. In your long term, protection. So you have to take care of all of this. Permanent insurance, life insurance, term life, you die suddenly, you don't die, you had an accident, you broke one leg, you need to pay for hospital expenses, you need to do your burial arrangement. These things help you to protect your money and yourself. So Like one of my friends said, the granddad died, and before they got there, everything was ready because, uh, the granddad died in a home. They are taking him to a funeral place. He had his will, he had his funeral paid for. So there was no fight by anybody, or they didn't have to go to find GoFundMe or anything. And believe me, final expense can be just $3,000 just to dispose, take care of that pain from your people, from your children when that time comes. So they are not fighting over your property. You have something, your will in place, and somebody like that will likely have a will in place. How much will it cost you to pay a lawyer to get a will in place? And all sorts of life insurance, forms of life insurance that we will discuss, we will talk about. Retirement plans that you can put your money in. All of these help you to protect your wealth, protect your future. Okay? Protect your wealth and protect your future. So we'll also talk next about getting yourself out of debt. Getting yourself out of debt. How to, in a disciplined way, take care of your spending. In a disciplined way, take care of your debts. Credit cards. Like somebody was talking to me, and I told him I don't use auto pay for nothing except it's compulsory because it's an embarrassment. The day there is not enough money, $1 less, your bank will, either charge you overdraft fees. When they charge you overdraft fees and pay that money, supposing you don't even have enough money in your account, they charge you overdraft fees, send it back to the person charges you NSF funds. By the time and then send it back the following day and send it back the following day. They do it 3 times. By the time all of that is done, maybe the charge itself is only $55. By the time $30 here, $35 there, $100 there, you are collecting 200 and something or $300 on a $35 to $55 debt that is not paid anyway. So you are paying all 200, almost 350 something over because of $55, and they love it. Banks love that. Okay, so you have to understand how to take care of those things. That's why I don't use auto pay. I have only 2 accounts that it must be. That's the only way they will allow you to operate those accounts. You either pay it full or you do instrumental pay, which is auto pay. And I use an account that is dedicated for that. They don't even charge me. They don't even do overdraft, and they don't charge me. They either pay or they don't pay. So these are the things we'll help you with to show you, and we will discuss them. We'll discuss them in detail. Like I said, also emergency funds. You must have something in your account, in your savings account, to prepare yourself for emergencies. Things happen. Like I just told you about the person that they fired after 18 years in service. The first thing is she has to survive the next 2 or 3 months before then all the other funds can start coming in. Whatever investments she has, she may start readjusting. But she immediately, in the next 1 or 2 months, she has to pay rent, she has to pay her light bill and everything. All those things must fall into place. So that's the purpose of the emergency funds. Then we now go to investments. This is where you now have your stocks, your bonds, and we will discuss how to get involved in all of this and how to actually make, build your wealth from your money. And that includes that $13 that I said, $13 a day. So we'll go through all of this in our discussion. If you just stay with me, each of these steps in the ladder, we will be discussing them one at a time and breaking them down. Even some of them maybe 2 discussions so that we can understand and follow. So this is how the sequence will be. I encourage you to stay with us. Subscribe, share it also, share as much as you can so that people can, it's nothing hidden. We're all sharing knowledge and enjoying ourselves as we, prepare for our futures. Even I still expect at least 40 of those, 45 of those years. So many of these things also apply to people like me. I may look like I've been there. Yes, I have been. Like I told you earlier, I'm retired. I retired by myself on my own terms. So, however young I look, I retired. Okay, so it's very possible retirement. You can define it. You can define when you do it. Join me in the next slide when we talk about protection. See you. Thank you.